I am Dr. W. B. Gunole from Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Today we are going to discuss the third part of this mechanism of organic reactions, and today in this part we are discussing the energy consideration and that is the reaction intermediate. In this detail about the carbonium ion we are going to discuss, and as we know that during chemical reaction, in the point of V point of the stability, reactants are converted into products, and now during the course of the reaction, matter of stability is the matter of energy content, and therefore according to the theory of that is the kinetic theory, the molecules which are, that is reactant molecules, must collide with each other so that the reactant is converted into the transition state, and after that it converted into the product. So during the conversion from a reactant to the intermediate, which is known as the transition state, and then to the product, during this process different steps the energy change take place, and this energy change, this energy consideration in the two type of reaction, exothermic and endothermic, we are discussing in today's part, and also different types of two reactions are there, SN1 and SN2. During this process also the energy changes, energy consideration is there. So all this part we are discussing in today's part. So today's part is the mechanism of organic reaction, part number 3, and in this part 3 we are discussing different types of topics, and these are energy consideration, reactive intermediate, carbonium ion, and formation, reaction and stability of this carbonium ion. So first of all we are going to discuss the energy consideration, and again that we have seen in the chemical reaction, the stability of the reactant is converted to the product, and this is the important part. The matter of stability is the matter of energy content, and therefore according to the kinetic theory in chemical reaction, it is essential that molecule of the reactant must react with the other molecule, and therefore certain number of these molecules acquire definite energy and move to the transition state. This energy is termed as energy of activation. In chemical system, transition state is known as intermediate, also known as activated complex. So transition state complex. This transition state complex, however, cannot be shown. And now, as we are considering the energy changes of the chemical reaction or system at three different stages, as shown in this figure. And in this diagram, this is the here reactant and products are equally present. So see here, this is the reactant and product are at equally present, and here this is the transition state, that is intermediate state. Reactant first converted to the transition state and then to the product, but now in this first figure reactant and product are equally present. In the second, it is shown that this is the reactant and converted to transition state, and then after that product is formed. So this is the energy of reactant converted to transition state, and this is the EP is the energy for product formation. So in this case, this is the difference between energy of reactant and product, which is this difference is known as the delta H, and in this case product is favored because energy of product is lowered. So these are the two energy consideration in this case. So in case of next, that here is shown now what is the here is the energy of reactant, EP is the energy of product, and ET is the energy of transition state. Now here two important points are there. When endothermic reaction and in case of exothermic reaction, we can write the equation delta H, if it is minus, then E are equal to EP. So what is now here, ER minus EP, and in this case delta H is less than 0, then the reaction is exothermic. So this is the reaction shown here, that reactant is converted into transition state and then to the product. So this delta H, depending upon the delta H, if delta H is less than 0, the reaction is exothermic. When delta H is greater than 0, then the reaction is endothermic. So endo means exo means energy is released and endo means energy get absorbed. So two types of reactions are there, and during this energy change taking place. So delta H is 0, less than 0, or whether it is greater than 0. Depending upon that, we can decide the reaction is exothermic or endothermic. Now there are again two types of reaction. One is a SN2 reaction, and in case of SN2 reaction, single step is there, and there will be only one maxima as the bond cleavage or bond breaking is taking place, and formation of bond occur simultaneously. So cleavage and bond formation take place simultaneously, and during the process, energy diagram for this example is alkali hydrolysis of methyl iodide, and the reaction is shown. This is the hydrolysis of alkali hydrolysis of methyl iodide is the example of SN2 reaction, and in this case this is the methyl iodide hydrolysis. Methyl iodide undergo hydrolysis, and now see here transition state, and then product is formed. So in this transition state, OH is attacking from the opposite sides of iodine. So here this is the intermediate state. This is unstable and highly reactive, and to get stability we get here methyl alcohol and iodide and get separate. So in place of iodine there is a OH attachment, and we get the product. So this is the one step process of hydrolysis of methyl iodide, and this is the SN2 reaction, and energy diagram is shown here. This is the exothermic reaction. So here reactant, here is a product methyl alcohol, this is the methyl iodide, and hydrolysis is taking place. So this is the transition state, higher energy, and then energy decreases and become we get the product. So in this case delta H is less than 0, and therefore the reaction is exothermic. And in case of another reaction, in case of SN1 reaction, there are two steps. First step is the formation of ion, and second step is the formation of product. So examples is the hydrolysis of tertiary butyl iodide. So this is the step 1 and this is step 2. In case of step 1, tertiary butyl iodide, this is tertiary butyl iodide, undergo there is a ionization, and what is now here this bond get break, and this is electronegative. So electron pair is here, and this is negatively charged, and this carbon become positively charged. So this is the formation of carbonium ion. So first step is the in which the carbonium ion is formed, and in the second step carbonium ion react with the hydroxide ion, OH minus ion here, and forming this type of tertiary butyl alcohol. So this is the second step, and we get first this is the two-step reaction. So SN1 is a two-step. Example is a hydrolysis of tertiary butyl iodide in the presence of alkali. So these are the two steps, and energy diagrams are shown here. And in case of step 1, this is endothermic reaction, and step 2 is the exothermic reaction. So step 1 here is shown. This is the tertiary butyl iodide converted to transition state, and then to the product. So see, delta H is the greater than 0. In case of this, delta H is greater than 0. In this case, delta H is less than 0, and therefore see the energy difference delta H. So in this step, E1 is the energy of tertiary butyl iodide, E2 is the energy of activation of tertiary butyl iodide, and E1 is the energy of carbonium ion. So in this case, here E is the transition state, and similarly here the energy are shown, and delta H is less than 0, greater than 0. So depending upon that, endothermic and exothermic reactions are there, and in this case see the diagram. In reactant is converted into product here, transition state, and then to the, so energy is less. So delta H in this case is the less than 0, and therefore these are the two-step energy diagram for exothermic, endothermic and exothermic. And delta H is greater than 0. Depending upon that, we can decide a reaction is endothermic or exothermic. So after energy consideration, now we are going to discuss what is meant by reactive intermediate. And as we know, that is the in case of reaction intermediate, in order to study the organic reaction, the knowledge of reactive or that is the reactive intermediate or reactive species formed during the course of reaction is necessary. These reactive intermediates are known as the reactive intermediate, and example of reactive intermediates are carbonium ion, carbanion, carbene, free radicals are the examples. So to study organic reaction, knowledge of transition reactive species or reactive species formed during the reaction is necessary, and this reactive species formed is known as the reactive intermediate. So first example here we are going to discuss, that is the carbonium ion. So these are the examples: carbonium ion, carbanion, carbene and free radical. So first is the carbonium ion. In case of carbonium ion, we are going to discuss what is carbonium ion, what are the types of carbonium ion, and after that the formation of carbonium ion, some reactions of carbonium ion and the stability of this carbonium ion. So now here, what is carbonium ion? So this is the reactive intermediate and a chemical species carrying positive charge on a carbon which has only 6 electrons in its valence shell is known as the carbocation or carbonium ion. I am repeating again that chemical species carrying positive charge on carbon which has only 6 electrons in its valence shell is known as carbocation or carbonium ion. So the carbon in the compound have positive charge and 6 electrons in the valence shell. These are the conditions, and carbocation or carbonium ion are short-lived, highly reactive chemical species because the carbon atom carrying the positive charge is electron deficient, and because it has only 6 electrons and therefore has a strong tendency to complete its octet by accepting the pair of electrons, and therefore it is highly reactive. And now here we are going to see the formation of carbocation or carbonium ion. Different methods are there of the formation of carbocation. So what is carbonium ion? The carbonium ion are the species in which the carbon have positive charge and have 6 electrons in the valence shell and is highly reactive. And therefore how the carbocations or carbonium ion is formed. So first step is the ionization of alkyl halide in polar solvent. So simply ionization of alkyl halide, we get the carbonium ion. For example, general formula of alkyl halide is Rx, and in case of Rx, if this bond get break, what is there? The electron pair move to the halide ion. This is negatively charged and this is positively charged. So this R plus is nothing but the carbonium ion. Example, now here we are taking tertiary butyl chloride. This is the example, tertiary butyl chloride. So these bond get break and we get Cl minus and carbon plus. This is the tertiary butyl carbonium ion. Similarly, we can also take allyl chloride. This is the formula of allyl chloride. So ionization of this, when this bond break, we get Cl minus and this is the allyl carbonium ion. This carbon have positive charge. Benzyl chloride, when bond breaks and undergo ionization, we get benzyl carbonium ion and the chloride ion. So in this way, this is the first method of formation of carbonium ion. And now second method is by protonation of unsaturated compound such as alkene, carbonyl compounds and nitrates. So all are given here. This is alkene in general formula, carbon double bond containing compound. So here protonation of unsaturated compound. So protonation means now here this proton get absorbed here and bond get break, and so here this RCHCH3. So this is positively charged, so this is the carbocation. In case of carbonyl compound also, this electron pair is given to this, and now what is this here is a OH. So this positive charge is on this oxygen. Now this transfer to the this and this compound are similar, and this positive charge shifted here. So this carbon become positively charged and we get this type of structure. In case of nitrate, there is a protonation, and what is here, this H plus abstracted by this protonation of this nitrate, we get this compound, and this nitrogen or positive charge. Now this bond get here in this way and shifted to this positive charge. It is shifted to this carbon, and therefore this is the positively charged carbon and have the carbonium ion. So these are the two methods of formation of carbonium ion. Another method is that is the third method. Here alcohol, by protonation of this alcohol, we get this type of compound. This electron pair shifted here, and what is now we get this compound ROH2, and then positive charge shifted here, and this bond get break. So this R plus and H2O. So this is the carbocation. Another method is the deamination of primary aliphatic amine with the nitrous acid. So in this case, this is the primary amine. In place of this, there is a loss of 2H2O, and we get RNN. This is the alkane diazonium cation, and again now this bond will break, and what is N2 nitrogen gas, and R plus is the carbocation formed. Another is the action of superacid on the alkyl fluoride. This is alkyl fluoride and antimony pentachloride, forming this R plus and antimony hexafluoride ion. So this is the carbocation. So these are the different methods of formation of carbonium ion. So carbonium ion is a in which the carbon have positive charge and the having 6 electrons in the valence shell, so highly reactive carbonium ion. There are 3 types of carbonium ion, and one is this is methyl carbonium ion, this is ethyl carbonium ion, this is primary, this is secondary, this is tertiary. When this carbon attached to 3, tertiary, when the carbon attached to 2 carbon. So we can classify carbonium ion into primary, secondary, tertiary, and this is methyl carbonium ion. So these are the different types of the we can classify the carbonium ion into primary, secondary and tertiary according to the carbon carrying the positive charge is primary, secondary or tertiary in the nature. Now some reactions are there of this carbonium ion, and carbonium ion is short-lived as we have seen, and it is an intermediate compound, react in several ways, and 3 important reactions are here. One is a substitution, second elimination and a rearrangement. In case of substitution reaction, hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide in the presence of alkali in aqueous medium form alcohol. So this is the tertiary butyl bromide, and so in case of substitution reaction, hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide. So this is tertiary butyl bromide. I undergo hydrolysis, and first there is a breaking of this bond and Br gets separate, and here this is having carbonium ion formation, and after that hydrolysis is taking place and OH group attaching here. So we get tertiary butyl alcohol. So in this way, this is the substitution, that is OH is substituted in place of Br. And in case of elimination of proton, alkyl halide in presence of strong alkali in non-polar solvent undergo proton elimination. So how this proton elimination taking place? So here this is the N-propyl bromide, this bond get break, Br gets separate, this carbon have positive charge, so this is the formation of carbonium ion. After that there is a hydrolysis, OH minus reaction. What is now then? Here this proton also get eliminated, and here there is a formation of double bond and water is eliminated. So this proton and this OH, water is separate, and this we get the propylene. So this is another elimination reaction, proton is eliminated. And thirdly, the third reaction is the we can say the rearrangement reaction, and in some rearrangement reaction of carbonium ion are so shown, and large number of molecular rearrangement take place through the carbonium ion formation, which form the new more stable carbonium ion by the migration of atoms. The new ion finally give product. The formation of new ion depends on the capacity of holding the charge. In general, primary carbonium ion changes to stable secondary and tertiary carbonium ion. So some rearrangement may take place. This is the third type of reaction. So some reactions are there of this carbonium ion. And next step is the stability of the carbonium. This is the important point in this case. So in case of the stability of the carbonium ion, we can say that stability of carbocation can be explained on the basis of the law of electrostatics. And this law states that any factor which tends to disperse the positive charge by distributing it over the rest of the molecule must stabilize the carbocation, while any factor which tends to intensify the positive charge must destabilize the carbocation. So we can say that stability of the carbocation is explained on the basis of this electrostatics, and any factor which disperse the positive charge by distributing it over the rest of the molecule and destabilize the carbonium ion. So here 2 groups are there. G is the group. This is the electron donating group. Here G is the electron releasing group or withdrawing group. 2 types of groups are there: electron donating, electron withdrawing. So in case of this first, this is the positively charged carbon. This is the carbocation, and group is any group which donate the electron pair, group which withdraw the electron pair. And in case of electron donating group, the group it disperse the positive charge and therefore stabilize the carbocation, whereas this group intensify the positive charge and hence destabilize the carbocation. So whether stability and when there is destability can be decided here on the basis of this group present in the carbonium ion. So the stability of this carbonium ion can be explained by taking the example here, and two important factors are there. One is the inductive effect and second is a hyperconjugation effect. So these two are the two factors are there, and here we can explain the inductive, or we can say that what is now here order of stability of alkyl carbocation or carbonium ion. Show the order. Tertiary is more stable than secondary and secondary is more stable than primary. This order of stability can be explained easily on the basis of inductive effect and hyperconjugation effect. Now here is shown first effect, inductive effect. As we know, what is inductive effect? Alkyl group have electron donating inductive effect. Alkyl group have electron donating inductive effect, that is plus I effect, and therefore plus I, because of this plus I effect, the release of electron toward the positively charged carbon in the carbonium ion, there is a dispersion of positive charge, and this dispersal of charge stabilize the carbocation, and therefore greater the number of such alkyl group present in the carbonium ion, greater will be the dispersal of positive charge and more stable will be the carbocation. So tertiary carbocation, here are the three alkyl group. This is carbonium ion, three alkyl groups are there, so there is a more dispersal. This methyl, this methyl give the that is donating the electron donating groups, and three groups are there, therefore tertiary butyl carbonium ion is more stable than secondary, and then ethyl and then methyl carbocation. So greater the number of alkyl groups attached to the positively charged carbon, greater will be the dispersion of positive charge, and therefore more stable is the carbocation. And tertiary carbocation is containing three alkyl groups, is more stable than secondary carbocation, and which is more stable than the primary carbocation containing one or primary carbocation or containing the one alkyl group. And primary is more stable than the methyl carbocation. So we have no any alkyl group. So methyl carbocation have no any alkyl group. Here is one, here are two, and here are the three. So this is more stable than this one, this is more stable than this, and this. So this is explained on the basis of inductive effect. So here is given. And second point is that stability of the carbonium ion can also be explained on the basis of hyperconjugation effect. So it is shown here in this example, and hyperconjugation effect is shown here. And what is hyperconjugation? That carbocation, stability of this carbocation can also be explained on the basis of hyperconjugation. Greater the number of alpha hydrogen, greater is the number of hyperconjugative structures, and therefore more stable is the carbocation. Now see here, this is the this is carbocation. So these three alpha, this three alpha, this is alpha, because carbon have this positive charge. Attached to this carbon, 3 hydrogens are here, 3 hydrogens, so total 9 hydrogens are there, alpha hydrogens are there. And therefore, according to the hyperconjugation, greater the number of alpha hydrogen, greater is the number of hyperconjugative structures, and hence more stable is the carbocation. And tertiary butyl carbocation with 9 alpha hydrogens are more stable, and having 9 hyperconjugative structures is more stable as compared to the isopropyl carbocation containing 6 alpha hydrogen, and hence 6 hyperconjugative structures are there. On the other side, and this is more stable than ethyl carbocation, and so structures are given here. That is, tertiary butyl is more stable than isopropyl carbocation, which is stable than the ethyl carbocation, and this is greater than the stable than the methyl carbocation. So here are these 3 total 9 alpha hydrogens are there. Here 3, and these 3 total 6 are there, and in this case 3 are there. 3 alpha hydrogens are there. So depending upon that, there are these are explained on the basis of hyperconjugative effect. So these two are the important point, that stability of the carbonium ion can be explained on the basis of inductive effect and hyperconjugation effect. So here different structures have been shown in this case. So stability of the carbonium ion can be explained on the basis of this hyperconjugation effect and the inductive effect. So today we have discussed different part, and that is the energy consideration and reactive intermediate. And reactive intermediate, first is the carbonium ion, and remaining intermediate, that is a carbanion or carbanion, and the free radical and the carbene we will discuss in the next part. So today we stop here.